It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
That's gorgeous.
could it be any better than that? Happy Daddy-O's Day, by the way. Down the hash.
How's that feel? How's that taste to you? Not mixed with the 7-Up that you're accustomed
It's
to.
pretty good.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Okay,
that
I like
was-
it. It really bit me.
And Kyle.
Steve and Kyle podcast,
Religious Roundtable.
the Religious Roundtable. So we'll obviously need to have all the important questions lined up. Like, who killed Jesus?
Right.
And then just let him shout.
Yeah, be like, were you pro or against?
And then, we obviously hit him with the hammer. And not physically.
Right.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Melissa Vaughn, the incomparable. While that intro was playing, you looked up at the clock that you had restarted. Beautiful clock, provided by our friend Trevor in Dixon/Burns, Tennessee, not Nashville. So, boy, the blue numbers ticking away.
It is not. The blue's nice.
Sure would be nice if it was red, though.
If there is anything that we are really great at, it's truly nitpicking the dumbest stuff possible.
Well, it's truly nitpicking things that people, like, out of
Right.
the kindness of their heart, send us.
This is the one we sent the link to.
Remember, didn't we originally get the 36-inch one? And we thought, oh, yeah, we need the 36-inch one. And
Yeah.
then it was way too big.
Yeah.
Took up a third of the wall. And then Trevor was gracious enough to initiate the Amazon return.
Still a valued tool, though, in the APS 4.0. A valued tool used quite literally every episode.
Every single episode.
It's the real silent warrior. Goes to battle for us every week. Never gets the thanks
No.
that it deserves.
Yeah, the unsung hero.
Talking about Trevor and Dixon/Burns and not Nashville had me, and I may have asked you this before, Steve, but I've pondered this and wondered, when you were a young man living on the East Coast, maybe it was when you were commuting to the big city for the big gig with the NHL,
Yes.
or maybe it was even before that when you just go into the city for whatever occasionally, which I don't know how often. I don't know how common of occurrence was that for the Jersey scum to make their way up transit.
Not super common. Couple times a year. I'd go
Okay.
up there for, a concert or something here and there, but yeah, I was never the we're going to the city, going to the
Right.
club. Yeah, no.
Were you ever a guy though who maybe what you're talking to a girl, a guy, it doesn't matter, and you felt compelled to maybe lie or just fudge it a touch and say that you were, I'm a New Yorker.
No.
You didn't care
No,
about
no.
No, I'm down in Cinnaminson.
No, the odd thing about people from New Jersey is that they're oddly proud of the fact that they're from New Jersey. So to say that to a New Jersey native to say that you're from New York, it would almost be like an insult to yourself.
Disrespecting is what you're doing.
Yeah. People from New Jersey have a lot of pride from being from the Garden State.
Or and on the other shoe, or on the other foot, not being from New York, right? Because New Yorkers are going to be at that point, New Yorkers are uppity.
Yeah.
We don't like them. We're the real pounding pavement. We're the worker bees of the earth, right?
Right. Yeah. It's weird because anytime the side gig has gone to New Jersey, for a live show or something, it's been a couple of years since we've done that, but I see a lot of the faces that I saw when I was just starting out in radio. So I would have been 22, 23 years old. And that listener base is so dedicated. And so I feel like I've kind of grown up with a lot of these people.
Sure.
And I see them, and it's people who are just like, hey, pretty effing nice to be back, huh? Pretty nice to be back. I mean, it can't get any better than this.
Don't you miss it?
I'm like, I mean, it's nice to be back. It's good to see people, but I like where I'm at now. And they almost take that as an insult. Like,
Like, what do you mean?
Now you think you're better than us, huh? It's like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah, right. You need to, at this point, just lie and be like, yeah, we're looking at getting a vacation house out here.
Yeah, we're looking at moving to Long Beach Island.
Yep, right on the shore. I found a nice spot up, Weehawken, and we're
right on the shore in Weehawken.
Hey, we're looking. We're talking to the finance guy. We're talking to my guy. And we're going to pull some shares. Because at that point they have no idea what you're. You know.
Right. Yeah. So, we're gonna swap some stocks with the I don't know the Wall Street.
And you just give them like a little backhand slap to the chest. Go, it's liquidity. You get it. And I'm assuming that'll be the end of the conversation because nobody really wants to follow up on that because nobody really knows what they're talking about.
Every now and then, though, you get that person like I'll hit a nerve and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't know you were into the numbers."
Yeah, you got any hot IPOs for me? And then you're over a barrel.
Then then I got to call Brother Mike and be like, "Look, this guy's throwing out acronyms at me.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're. I don't know what." Do you deal with that? Because I don't know what he does.
Right? No, God, no.
Mutual fund things.
Well,
I don't know. Swapping retirement.
Just to go to show IRAs. How little we actually know about that.
Yeah,
I believe one of the times we've referenced Brother Mike and doing taxes and whatnot.
Yeah,
he said he still just pays a tax guy.
Yeah.
So if finance guy Brother Mike can't do it,
right?
How are we expected to be able to do this without screwing everything up?
Let me tell you, that is there aren't many times when like you're happy to pay someone to do something, because it's like that's money out.
Right. Listen, for years that's been your philosophy. It's a DIY Steve.
DIY Steve. Dick Kyle. And you know what I'm talking about. There is only one time a year that I am thrilled to make that Venmo payment or send that check. And it's to a good friend, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Jeff, who does my taxes.
Not BDR, Big Dutch Ron.
Not Big Dutch Ron. No, that's not his. It's not his cup of tea. But man,
Big Dutch Ron in the same boat as Brother Mike then, because both of them finance guys.
No clue what they do.
And no idea what they actually do.
Yeah, move money for every now and then. He'll send me an email. Or I'll get a statement saying funds have been he could be putting all of that money in his offshore, Philippines account.
Right.
And he is just days away from packing that suitcase, hopping on the plane, and flying out of here with my money. It's just trust at this point. But yeah, I don't have any clue what happens. I look at my pay stub every month or every week. I'm just like, okay. I trust you. I trust everybody involved. I'm trusting the process that I'm not getting screwed.
What are the odds that right now you or I have like some Cayman Islands account that are somehow funding a jihad in the Middle East somewhere?
60%? I mean,
I'll post on the poll. Is there a greater than 50% chance that we're currently funding a jihad with our retirements?
Now, you're not really a TikTok person, right?
I don't even have it. I've never been on it. I don't know why that's my line in the sand, by the way. Fine. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not big into it either. But I'm on Instagram, and I think the Instagram Reels are pretty similar to TikTok.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you scroll through. So for the most part, it's BMX clips from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Boys never grow up.
Yeah. They Instagram has really, really figured out what my algorithm is.
Yeah.
And then next it's going to be like big chested women playing golf.
Right. Exactly. It is.
Paige, what's a
sporadic? Yeah, I believe is like a spokeswoman for a sports book. And that's really the only reason. I don't believe I could be very wrong. And I'm not saying this to diminish what she did. I don't believe she was ever a very good or great golfer.
I mean, good enough to be a professional golfer.
She was a professional golfer.
Yeah, so
of the top 1%, she was in the top 1%.
An elite golfer.
Right. I don't know if she ever won a tournament. Does not matter. Because at that point in her life, golf quickly became a secondary asset to her portfolio.
Yeah, I think she's probably done very well for herself.
I'm not talking about her 401k.
Hey-oh. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
You said your algorithm, yeah.
Yeah. So every now and then, finance stuff pops up in my algorithm, and it'll be a picture of a beach.
Christ, you're like a walking dichotomy.
Look, I don't get it, but I do get it because every time they pop up, I stop and read them, which I know feeds the algorithm, and it says, oh, he likes this stuff. We're going to feed him more of it. So it'll say something like, when your kids are born, set up an LLC in their name, and then when they turn 12, you can technically hire them to work for their own corporation. You can pay them money, which they can then put into that LLC, and it's tax free. And then when they graduate high school, they'll be billionaires. God. And every time I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
The Moulin Wall LLC. I'm going to file.
Yeah.
I'm going to, write down the bylaws.
There was one yesterday that said something about you can. It didn't seem legal, but it was on Instagram, so I'm sure it's on the up and up. But it said something about how set up an offshore account in the Cayman Islands, hire yourself to work for that LLC in the Cayman Islands, and then all the money that you make is tax free because it's offshore accounting or something. And I was like, this can't be legal.
So I don't know. I just quickly Googled, can I create an LLC for my infant and pay when 12?
Does it say?
The IRS,
does it just give a thumbs up and say, "Yep, good to go. You found the loophole"?
The IRS allows any sole proprietorship or partnership, which would be an LLC, that is wholly owned by a child's parents, to pay wages to children under age 18 without having to withhold payroll taxes, and list it as outside labor as another expense, not payroll, and you do not have to issue a W-2. So
if I wanted
to me, that seems like a hack for you to get out of paying taxes.
But it's also for them because they don't have to pay taxes. So neither of us have to pay taxes. So in fantasy world, I could set up the Moulin Wall LLC. I could.
This is a thing.
I could send.
I had so much doubt.
I could pay. Nikki B, my 2-year-old, $200 a month for outside labor. So that money just goes into his account, goes into his account, goes into his account. He doesn't have to pay any taxes, and I don't have to pay any taxes.
Sorry, I'm posting a poll. Should Steve hire Nikki B to work for him?
For outside labor.
For outside labor, of course. Yeah. Now, again, this is a thing. And
all right, I got to talk to Jeff, my tax guy. I got to talk to BDR, Big Dutch Ron.
Yeah, and
I got to get Brother Mike on the phone. Maybe we'll have a collective.
The finance roundtable. We'll do that.
The finance roundtable.
We'll do that the day after the religious roundtable.
Okay.
By the way, we got a witch.
We do?
We got a witch, and we've got. I know we have a friend of the show, Jewish correspondent Brian Krause.
Okay.
So we just need you to head back to Green Bay and find those Mormons people. Oh, those are the Mormons. I'm sorry.
Mormons. Yeah, I bet I could get in touch with them relatively easily.
And then someone else is going to have to get the Amish because I told you last week I'm terrified.
Okay.
So,
we need an Amish or Mennonite listener.
How many seats would be at a technical roundtable? Would that be a 6?
Yeah, 6 or 8, I think.
And we need to leave one for our host Johnny Chef on the warship. For warship.
Anyone who has not listened, anyone who's jumping in here at episode 424 is very, very confused.
I do hate that, by the way. I hate doing that. I hate feeling like constant callbacks.
I know.
Because the idea, I don't want to feel like it's isolating anybody. But
we digress.
Now back to hiring your 2-year-old for outside labor. Hiring your kids in your family-owned business can provide tax advantages under the age of 18, not subject to Social Security or Medicare taxes, provided it's an LLC, and you can deduct the salaries you pay your children from your business income, reducing your overall taxable income.
Okay.
The amount you pay is taxed at the child's tax rate, which is likely the... So that money you're paying, Nikki B, and we're moving on from Evelyn. We don't think she's got it in her.
She's past her prime.
Okay, well, obviously, right? Those
almost 5.
Yeah. You seen her jump? She's like grabbing her knee now. It's like, she's getting old.
All right. So say in theory, now Annette has an LLC set up for her Etsy shop. Yeah, her business. Say when Evelyn turns 10, I don't know. She wants to start working with mama.
Mm-hmm.
So packing envelopes or carrying things to the mailbox or really anything. We call that outside labor here. Annette could pay Evelyn from the LLC tax-free on both ends.
Not tax-free. You're simply paying, Evelyn would not pay Medicare or Social Security taxes, and the tax rate that she would pay, because technically Evelyn is being paid at that point, is less. The child's tax rate is less than the adults, but that comes off of your overall income for you guys at the end of the year, which reduces your taxable rate. That's the
okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
little double dip.
I like it.
And somehow you're telling me
this is legal?
this is legal. So we need to get finance guy brother Mike on, because he's missed the boat, obviously.
Yeah.
The fact that he did not hire Daniel and Joey.
He may have.
Honestly,
There might be a Daniel LLC and a Joey LLC.
I feel like we need to text him right now and say,
Go ahead.
Did you ever hire your kids
As a tax shelter.
as a tax?
Go ahead.
No, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. That's a brilliant idea. And you said this is on your algorithm, huh? Maybe I need to get into the TikToks.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Okay, next time I see one pop up,
I just got to scroll past the big boobed women golfing.
Yeah, and eventually, if you stop on enough of the finance ones, remember, just look for the one where it's a beach with a sunset and there's text.
Yes.
I know those are usually the ones I
Right.
scroll past too, because I'm just, again, looking for early or late 90s, early 2000s BMX and big-breasted golfing women. But you'll start to see them trickle in very slowly. So next time I see one, I'm going to send it to you.
Please do. I'll open it up in the web browser that it opens up on, because I don't have the app.
No, you got to download. Well, as long as you're logged in. As long as you're logged in.
I don't have a login.
You don't have a login for Instagram?
Oh, Instagram. Yes,
Yes,
yes. I'm
you
sorry.
do.
I thought you were talking about TikTok. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
Yes, yes.
no, because I tag you and stuff.
Well, I feel like Annette would have to write like a list of things down if she were to scroll through your Instagram reels, because she'd be like, oh, okay, big boob women golfing. Here's a divorce lawyer. And then the next one would be like 80s BMX. And then she'd call a therapist.
Right. Like, oh, here's Eddie Fiola in the GT competition from 1988.
We had this conversation a while ago, though, where you said if you were to see what is in her algorithm, what did you say it was? Not flowers.
No, florists.
Yeah, like the most harmless stuff imaginable. You're like,
I know.
yeah, she's looking at
Yeah.
like
It's like
the two of you sit next to each other at night, and Steve's like, oh yeah, tax write-offs, and then like cards in the spokes doing flippy dips off of the big ramp at the skate park. And you look over, and there's Annette looking at florists and like fish.
Yeah. No, it's she'll very, very frequently send me ones where it's animal related. Like the other day, she sent me one where it was baby gorilla torments father.
Okay.
And it's the big gorilla sitting there while the baby gorilla just climbs all over it and like slaps it and runs around and is trying to knock it down. And it was very relatable to my life, because my kids constantly climb on me. They want me to give them piggyback rides. They want to hang off of me when I'm riding or when I'm walking or anything just to be physically a nuisance.
Have you gotten to the point in your age, though, again, early 30s, to where does that wear on you? I mean, obviously it is wearing on you, but like, do you go to bed some nights or wake up the following morning and like really struggle?
Yes, there was one point. I don't know how this started. It started probably a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, where, because we rotate back and forth, like one night Annette puts Evelyn to bed and I put Nikki to bed, and then the next night we switch. So the nights that Annette would put Evelyn to bed, I'd be upstairs putting Nikki to bed. He typically goes down quicker than her. So I would come downstairs and I would go into her room, and Annette would be reading to Evelyn. And I would just come in and be like, all right, nighty-night, and give her a hug and a kiss. Well, it started out, I forget how, but she was like, can you pick me up? So I'd pick her up and give her a big bear hug. And then a lot of times I would do this thing where as I'm giving her a bear hug, I'd act like I was tipping over. I'd be like, whoa, whoa,
okay.
whoa, whoa. So that became known as whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
So for a long time, whenever I would come in there and say, can we do whoa, whoa, whoa? I'd be like, all right. So I had to constantly ramp it up a little bit.
Well, right, because if you stay the same too long, they don't want to play whoa, whoa, whoa anymore.
No, exactly.
And then next thing you know, she's doing heroin.
Are you saying whoa, whoa, whoa is a gateway drug to heroin?
I'm just saying always be diligent and on the lookout.
So, pick her up, do whoa, 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 and then whoa, whoa, whoa is like, whoa, I almost dropped her. Whoa, now I'm flipping you around. Whoa, now we're basically gymnasts. Mm-hmm. And a couple of weeks ago, I think I threw out my back doing whoa, whoa, whoa.
No.
To where the next time I came in, she said, Dada, can we do whoa, whoa, whoa? And I said, Dad, I can't do whoa, whoa, whoa tonight.
Oh, there it is. That's the first time, the first major sign of disappointment.
I saw the tear slowly dripping down her face. And I
saw
said,
her reach for her phone and say, Johnny Crack Dealer, I need you now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, and now the new thing is horsey back ride. So she wants a horsey back ride. But she's not content unless the horsey back ride starts in her bedroom, goes out, down the hallway.
And when you say horsey back, are you talking you on all fours?
All fours, yeah. Her riding on my back.
You don't have a lot of carpet.
Well, there's carpet. Luckily, there's carpet on the horsey back path.
Okay, good, yes.
So from her bedroom down the hallway to the other bedroom, then at the midway point, she says, lift up and hold my feet and say nay. So I have to grab onto her feet, lift up and go, then drop back down, then go all the way back. And at the end, of course, as you would predict, I have to grab her feet, go up and say, nay, again. Mm-hmm.
Like a horse.
Yeah. I am physically not able to do this sometimes.
Oh, my goodness. Now, have you talked to the doctor about any type of supplements to make your joints feel better? You know, like you give an aging dog.
Like a gummy or something? Yes. A cherry gummy? Yes. No, I haven't done that yet. Because I'm not ready to admit that I am old.
The first thing for me was the range of motion, being able to just like the spins and the stretches all the way down and lifting and like falling down quickly. Like if we're playing he likes to play what he calls Call of Duty, where we run around like he's seen in the video game with fake guns shooting, and then you get brought back to life.
Nice,
but the fall down to the floor.
Are you constantly searching?
Devastating.
Are you searching for like the couch cushion that's in close range that you can drop on the floor? And
Steve, there's always a better couch nearby, and if there's not, then the gun missed you, and he'll get you the next time.
So if the gun misses you, you just shuffle over to the closest couch and then say,
exactly.
Take another shot, kid.
Yeah, good luck.
Good.
And yes,
good. Okay.
Exactly. Oh man, it's hard to. I never want to be the guy who tells Reed no about doing those things that
the imaginative games and things
that
like
when
that.
In 3 years he's not going to want to do anymore. Mm-hmm. But my God, he wants to play. It's a game he calls Airplane, and all we do is him and I run around with our arms out as airplanes.
Yeah.
In our house and around our kitchen island, around our living room, and we're just supposed to not crash.
Sure.
Until inevitably.
You crash.
We crash.
Yeah. Into each other, into a couch,
into
a
each
wall.
other. And it's supposed to be a big scene, right?
Okay.
So you usually have to grab them, lift them up, spin them, flip them over my head as we both fall to the ground.
Yeah, you're gonna tear some kind of ligament. You're gonna hurt yourself in some way.
Yeah. No question. I don't think, obviously I know he doesn't know, but when I look at my health history the past 15 years, it's not encouraging.
Oh, solid as a rock, man.
Broken nose, ruptured Achilles, bum heart.
Yeah, you got a Winky just pumping away, trying to keep up.
It's not great. But yeah, if you call the doc, maybe see if he can double up the script. Okay, for one of the, like a feel-good gummy or whatever.
Okay. Believe that's illegal.
No, just give him a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, sure.
And say, you mind hitting 2 instead of 1 on that? You know what I mean?
Maybe put 4 refills instead of just no refills.
That's right. We have gone too far. I've had this for a couple of weeks on the list that I have wanted to address with you, Steve, because I have picked up a new hobby.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this one of your New Year's resolutions that I assigned to you?
No, I
By the
believe
way,
you only assigned one, right?
We're about halfway through the year. I need to go back and find out what my homework is for this year.
I got to tell you, you have some ground to make up.
Do I? Oh, I think I have to read 4 books, don't I?
No, I didn't give you anything about books. I wouldn't challenge you to read.
I thought that I thought that was in there somewhere though. That was like my own resolution for myself. Maybe.
Oh, maybe it was. I'm trying to pull up the doc. I know we have the doc
crap.
saved. The New Year's. This is perfect. We'll get to what I wanted to talk about. We'll get to that after the break. Okay. Right now, let's do a very quick check-in.
Okay, a New Year's resolution check-in.
It's about halfway through.
Yeah, we're what, a week shy of being halfway through this year.
Right. So what I'll do, Steve, for yourself. Is that how you want to do it? First?
No,
okay.
But yes.
How about I give you mine for you, and then
okay. I think I remember yours.
Okay, my New Year's resolution for you was this year to go to the gym 2 times per month or cancel. Just wanted you to get off the fence post.
Oh boy.
So you needed 24 visits to the gym membership that you've been paying.
Accomplish that today.
24 visits? So you're talking walk in, do an exercise, walk out, walk in?
No, the cancel. The cancel part, that's the easy way out.
That is the easy way. Listen.
I mean, in theory, I have until December 31st.
Right.
I could just walk in on the morning of December 31st and be like, I'm done.
And
24? Okay, so I'm assuming you're talking average.
Right.
Average 2 times a month. So as long as I get there 24 times,
right.
It doesn't matter that I didn't go at all January, February, March, April, May,
and we're on
June.
Yeah, we're on the back half of June, so let's not.
I could still get my June visits in there.
You could get the 2 in June if you leave here this morning and say, I'm hitting the road. I'm going to do some lat pulls. And
how long do I have to be there again for it to be considered?
I did not specify. This is. I want you to make a good faith effort.
Okay.
And either walking in there with your shorts and your bottle of water, and
so I can go in there and do a half hour of cardio.
No question.
And hit off.
Or hear me out. Walk in there, go to the front desk, say I need to cancel.
No, I can't do that.
And you've accomplished it for the year.
I think it depends on who's at the front desk.
It's insane. That is an insane way to look at it.
Isn't that insane? But do you agree that it depends on who's at the front desk?
For me, no, because if I'm going in to cancel, I'm not going to be talked out of it, whether it's, a 60-year-old man, a 19-year-old girl. Or
see, that's totally it. If I walk in there and it's a middle-aged man,
yeah,
and I say, hey, man, I got to cancel my account, I'm more likely to do that.
Okay.
But if I walk in and it's 24-year-old attractive college girl.
Yeah, if Paige Sporanic is now running the desk.
Right. Yeah, at the local Planet Fitness. I mean, so there's a good chance that the next time I go there, as I'm walking through the parking lot, I will not be decided yet on whether I'm going to work out that day.
Yeah.
Or cancel.
Well,
I'll be in workout clothes walking in.
Yeah.
And if I see, Dumpy Don behind the desk, there's a good chance I'm going to cancel and be like, all right, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Goal accomplished.
I'd like to see you, if you're going there, I'd like to see you in workout clothes. I'd like to see you get that workout in before you cancel no matter what.
But what if it's Dumpy Don? Like, do you cancel if it's Dumpy Don at the desk?
So the idea,
maybe put that on the poll.
That's what I'm posting right now. Is it easier to cancel the membership with Dumpy Don
on the desk?
But I feel like even Dumpy Don's having some head scratchers when you walk out. If you walk in with gym clothes and a bottle of water, like ready to go, and then just walk up and say, "Nah."
Well, he'll probably just assume I'm going to the gym around the corner.
You think so?
Yeah, he's be like, he signed up at the rival.
That's right. Yeah, he's at the hip new one where they've got a pool in there too.
Right.
Okay, so that was my goal for you, and like you predicted.
So that's it. That was the only goal that you assigned
for you. Yeah, 24 visits. Your goal for yourself, and again, we're at a half year check-in. Right? Mm-hmm. So you should be halfway done with these. So you should have had 12 gym visits.
Okay.
And your year-long goal for yourself was to have read 4 books.
4 books, 1 a quarter.
So that would have given you 1 from March. Mm-hmm. And you should be, the last week of June here.
I should be finishing up book 2.
You should be wrapping up book 2.
Okay.
So,
To be honest, there is a book
okay.
that I've been waiting for my wife to finish reading
Okay.
for like 2 months.
Okay.
Because I said to her, I really want to read that when you're done with it. And
Is it like a new book, like a brand new book, or just one that sounded interesting that she had?
No, it was it's like a book written by a child psychologist. So it's a lot of parenting advice, and this is somebody I follow on Instagram, and I've gotten a lot of really good advice from her.
Okay. What's the book title?
It's called Good Inside.
Okay.
By Dr. Becky. God, I don't remember what her last name is right now. But
Steve, I have good news.
What's that?
If you have a library card, you can get that book today.
Yeah, I can get it at the local.
You can get it on your phone.
I don't want to do phone.
Well,
I don't want to do phone or digital. I want a physical copy, I think.
God's sake, you put so many prerequisites on.
Well, look, man,
for a guy, what was the last book you read? What was the last
don't
book?
know.
Okay, so it's been safe to say years.
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
10?
Maybe.
So somewhere in that 5 to 10 year period,
I got a book
in.
right over here that I want to read. That a good friend and mentor of the radio show sent to us.
Okay.
That I want to read. That I just haven't read yet.
Is that like Christmas 2017 or?
Probably pretty close. Maybe 2019? I'm pretty sure it was pre-COVID.
So safe to say, you are currently at 0.
Oh, yes. 100% safe to say.
So you now have 6 months to read 4 books.
And
what can I do?
Oh, you know what I just realized? If I go to the gym and do some cardio,
slap them on your ears.
I can be on the treadmill.
For this, I am willing to make an exception, and I will call an audiobook a book for you. If you wanted to listen to 4 books.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
It doesn't interest me as much. I'll be honest. I need to be in a very certain zone.
Okay.
And I want to have physical copy. I want to be able to turn the page.
Jesus.
I'm telling you, man. It's like
listen, you're talking to a guy. I love books. I adore reading. I love the physical copy.
Okay.
But for ease of access, I use that app which is connected to our local library.
Yeah.
For digital versions to borrow.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't want to. I built that gigantic bookshelf.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do when I move? I'm not bringing 3 million books.
So with the local book app, the local library app.
Yeah.
Do you then read it on your phone? Are you on a Kindle?
I have a Kindle.
Or okay.
I have a Kindle, and I got one of those Kindles that's just the book.
So it's
what is
internet, like the
Paperwhite.
Paperwhite. Yeah.
Because
I could do that. I think
I'm
I could
too
do
easy
that.
to get distracted with. I'm on a tablet. Click, click, click.
Can you add me to your account there and
on the library app?
Yeah, and just say, I mean, even though I'm pretty sure we have a family account, and you'll just have to bring your Kindle to me every now and then.
No problem.
So if I'm in the mood to knock out a couple pages before bed, I'm just going to call you on the blower. Like, hey, can you swing by? I'll meet you out at the street. You drive by, pass the Kindle out. I'll drop it off on my way to work the next morning.
Just mailbox it back and forth, right? I'm on page 80. Don't forget, please.
Okay. All right.
Steve,
now,
your goal for the podcast this year was to have posted 1 reel or story per week for our social media.
Okay. I think we've done better. I don't know if we've attained.
We have not done 1 a week, but in terms of posting social media wise, we have made a concerted effort.
Okay.
To not necessarily stories or reels, which honestly we could and should. But social media posting, we have made a concerted effort to do at least 1 non-episode post per week.
Okay, would you like to look at your list of New Year's resolutions?
Well, I know the big one.
Do you remember?
I remember one.
Okay.
And I remember...
Your resolution, let's see. One of you, I would assume that this is the one that you are referring to as your big one. Oh, boy, I don't know. Maybe.
No, listen, the big one was from you. I don't remember what mine was for me.
Oh, okay. The big one...
Because that's a perfect challenge.
The big one, which you nearly accomplished. Like a week into 2024.
Unbelievable.
Make 1 friend. Have you made a friend? Do you have somebody new in the quiver?
Let me check. If I texted anybody that I could consider a friend.
And I'm not talking like Chase Bank texted you a confirmation code for two-factor authentication.
Right.
That doesn't count.
Well, boy.
It's got to be a living, breathing person.
Pickings appear to be slim. I
There
have
was
a few texts with Reed's TK teacher from a few weeks ago.
Okay.
She helped him out at football camp. Does that count?
No.
So the answer currently is no.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
That's all right. I mean, look, we're in the same spot, man.
I need to give you a minor update, though, because...
Did you find the guy that you met at the bar?
No. I could do that. I could do that today. But
How?
I've gone too far. I told you I remembered his fiance's name.
Okay.
Was the cousin of someone I went to school with.
Right.
And she told me where she worked, which is a company that I work alongside.
Okay.
So I know her. I could email her.
Oh, that's right. She's in the denial industry just like you.
But I didn't want to. I feel like the time has gone too far now for me to even make that.
Maybe start frequenting that
plunge.
bar again.
Boy, that's hard. That would probably be the last bar we went to by ourselves. That was about 5 months ago. So, minor update that took a trip to local wine area, Michigan, 2 weeks ago with another couple, and went up there. And my wife and my friend's wife would not stop giving me a hard time because I was chatting everybody up.
Really?
All the employees I could find. Just doing my damnedest to make it is on my mind a lot.
So this is a couple hours north of here?
Yes.
You're talking? Okay. I don't know if that's going to count because that's not somebody that you're ever going to...
First of all, how dare you? If I were to get one of these new friends' phone numbers and communicate and say, hey, I'm going to come back up. The idea was...
And maybe you guys could be like, hey, we're doing fantasy football this year. You in?
Yeah.
Okay.
The deal was, I believe, schedule and accomplish one time to spend time with this person outside of phone or outside of the initial meeting.
You're right. That does count. I apologize.
Getting nothing but guff. All I want to do is make friends up there, Steve.
Sure.
This goal haunts me because I think about it a lot.
So you said that you were up there with another couple.
Correct.
Your wife is friends with...
No. This is my friend who I've known since fourth grade.
Okay, so this is an existing friend. This is somebody that it doesn't count because they're already a friend.
Right. Yeah, he's been my friend since probably third or fourth grade. So it's one of like.
Is this your buddy down the street?
No.
Okay.
No. He wouldn't drink wine. But what was? That's the one I know, and that's the one that's been in my brain, Steve. What is the goal that I gave for myself?
The goal that you gave for yourself was to use your phone 25 to 30% less.
Oh boy, okay.
Is there any way to track that? Like, I know that there's...
I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah, like with iPhone, there's the Screen Time app where you can test it.
Boy, there's got to be an app that I set a screen time number, and if I get to it, like blows up.
Yeah, this probably would have been a good thing to set back in like late December.
Yeah,
so we could actually keep track of it. This seems like one of those intangible ones where it's like, I feel like I used it less.
Right, and this is all in good spirit. These goals that we set,
these are good faith bets.
So in my head, I'd probably say I haven't gotten there.
Okay, so that means that for the second half of the year, you really got
50 to 60.
Yeah, you got to drop off quite a bit.
And it needs to be like for me, it needs to be the simple changes.
Maybe just
if we're before dinner, like when we start making dinner or going to get dinner, whatever. Put the phone in my room so that it's gone for at least that, let's say, hour and a half in a row. And then when I go to lay in bed, leave it charged, leave it alone, right? When you go to bed. Those are the simple starting points. But yeah. Okay. And what was my, I had forgotten that we did a goal for the podcast. What was my goal for the podcast?
Oh, your goal for the podcast was to quit.
Your lips to God's ears. Steve, I think I have gotten in over my head. On something that you have experience with, and maybe you can guide my wandering, idiotic heart towards success in this matter.
Okay, something that I've gotten. Did you buy a old vehicle that's just rusting away to nothing.
I have to tell you, if I were to ever consider an old vehicle,
Did you finally find a Prowler?
the first person I'm texting and calling is you
Yes.
to say how much of a turd is this. And when you say
Yeah.
like it's a 9 out of 10, that's obviously a must buy.
Yeah.
Because you want to start from the
No,
bottom.
no, no. I don't want you to call me until after the purchase has been made.
Okay, so I have to have made the financial decision
Yeah.
of either ruin or great success.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So it's not that you didn't buy a vehicle.
Yes, I did not. This is something that you haven't done in quite some time, though.
Okay.
And kind of, maybe to a degree, ties into what we were just talking about with one of the New Year's resolution that I gave you. So years ago, you were quite an accomplished runner. To the point where you would do marathons. or
Yeah,
half
I
marathons.
wouldn't say I was quite an accomplished runner. I ran quite a bit.
You ran marathons.
Yeah.
That is in... Much like when we were talking about the professional female golfers, not saying you're a professional runner,
Yeah.
but being able to run a marathon is the top half of the top half of the top half of people who run.
Most people do not do that in a lifetime.
Right.
I think I did 5 full marathons.
Right. And that's when you stop caring about charity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't blame you. You grow up, you realize it's all a scam.
No, I mean, probably 5. I think I did 5 full marathons and maybe 8 to 10 half marathons.
Okay.
Are you telling me
Not that. Good
Okay.
God, no. Good God, no.
that would have been the most shocking thing you've ever said?
Yeah, no. If I did, it would be like the 2026,
Downhill marathon.
right,
or
yeah,
something.
downhill only. The 26.32 mile hill or 13.1, but then they're going to shuttle you back up.
Yeah, it's
for
like a
the-
ski.
for
It's,
the
on,
back
it's at a
town.
ski lift.
Yeah.
Or at a ski hill.
And then even those last 13 miles, I'm just rolling.
Yeah.
I'm just going to roll.
Okay.
So about a month ago, my wife and son, through her work, did the event was called K9K, and it was for I forget the charity. Whatever, neither here nor there. And they had like a not 5K, but they had a 3K and then another number.
Okay.
So Katie and Reed signed up for the 3K.
Okay, so
And
that's
walked like 1
roughly
point
2
something.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe 2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And walked / jogged with, it's 5-year-old, whatever. Did that, came back, and next day I see on her computer, and she's talking about it, and she went and signed herself up for a 5K
Nice. Very nice. So
in July.
Okay, in July. So but is it like a charity thing? Is it just a local race? Is it...
No, it's the local, like Apple, the big one in town, the local Apple Farm.
Oh, I'm not sure.
What is it? I forget. I can't think of its name right now.
Whatever.
It does not matter. But yeah, so it's like you get they have wine there too, so you get get a glass of wine and stuff at the end, whatever.
Of it. Yeah.
And so she tells me that she signed up for it, and I see it pop up on our
Nice.
shared Google Calendar, and I wipe the potato chips off of my belly.
Right. Because you're lean back in your easy chair,
Right. Slippers.
beer helmet on.
Yep. Beer helmet, 2. That's 1 in each.
Yeah.
2 straws.
Exactly.
Yep. And
You when you burp, it's like Barney on The Simpsons, where your whole upper lip vibrates.
yeah. And
What's this on the calendar?
it's a barbecue chip, and then so I wipe it on my white shirt and take another sip of Keystone.
Okay.
And the next day, I said to her, I need you to go back in there
Cancel that event.
and sign up myself for that.
The big dog's gonna run, huh?
And she said, you can do it yourself. And so it kind of ruined the moment.
Why do you need me to do your work?
Which is a fair retort.
But you were trying to make her part of the big... You were trying to make this a grand event,
Right.
and she just stepped all over it.
But she did. She went back in there,
Begrudgingly.
signed me up for it.
Do you have any idea how difficult that's going to be to edit my
I have
registration?
to figure out how to either add a person to my current registration or make a new one, but I have to use your email, which I'm guessing they're going to send a password check. Why don't you just do it yourself? Which is what she should have said. But she didn't. She powered through it and signed me up for it.
Okay.
So I'm currently signed up for, on July 13, a 5K run.
Whoa.
No. Save that for July 14 when we're recording.
Okay, so...
Yeah. So,
All right, enough.
boy, that's raucous applause.
It's like a second and a half too long.
It is. So I decided. Now she has been like I'll take the dogs for walks. Her and I will walk while Reed will ride her bike or whatever. But she has been more actively walking / running the past 1 to 2 months anyway.
Good.
So she's a little bit more up to speed than this guy who hasn't run in years.
Yeah.
By choice.
Yeah.
And the last time I ran was probably to first base. In August 2018, when I wrapped up my retirement season,
And I was there. It wasn't a pretty sight.
To the last season of softball, second to last season of softball.
Better than when your brother would run.
Hey,
That giraffe. That giraffe had a bit of a hitch in his giddy up, if you know what I mean.
I am on our Twitter page right now because that's where I post polls. Spoiler alert. And the first name under suggested you might like in terms of following is Paige Sporanic. So yes, the internet is constantly listening. So yeah, the last season, Steve, of softball, I asked our dear friend Dr. Jake, fake Dr. Jake, snake oil salesman Jake.
Oh, Jake, whatever happened to Jake?
He's a chiropractor in Mid-America.
He's a bone cracker,
Yeah,
huh?
he is. Selling, the voodoo.
Selling potions.
I asked him, I said, Jake, can you tell me how to run?
So you were so serious about running that you asked a student chiropractor.
No. This was during the softball season. I asked him because I kept getting devastating shin pain.
Okay.
Devastating. Hurt so bad. And so I said, Jake, tell me how to do this. What am I doing wrong? Like outside of the lumbering, overweight body.
Did he say you're doing too flat foot?
I forget what he described. Obviously, I've already forgotten it because I haven't run since then.
So you've really been working at this.
So I told my wife to sign me up. So I have a couple of things I need to get to about this. But if you could start thinking to give me a little bit of advice on how to properly get myself. Now I have, 3 weeks from today?
Oh, okay. So this is coming up quick.
July 13th, I have 3 weeks. Can you help me or give me some advice to get me ready for this 5K in 3 weeks? Think about that while I describe to you my training process so far.
Okay.
So this started with me. I figured, you know what? I just got to get out. I got to get BOG. I got to get boots on ground. I've got to get those old, not helpful athletic sneakers on the pavement outside my house.
Okay, that's probably the first thing you got to do is get fitted for a good pair of shoes where they analyze your gait.
Oh, boy.
Probably take care of your shin splints pretty quickly.
Well, that's not going to happen.
There's
I think I've got that in the budget for this.
There's a running shop 3 miles from your house that would be ideal. I would say for $100, you can be in and out of there with a good pair of shoes.
So I went and bought a pair of shoes online.
Oh, boy. Would you go to Kmart?
No, I bought these off of, I forget what the website was, but associated with Amazon. I bought myself a pair of Hokas.
Okay.
Bought my wife a pair of On Clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be here. I don't know why it's so late, but yeah, they won't be here for like another week and a half.
So you're taking your 3 weeks of training, cutting it down to a week and a half.
No, we're still out there. BOG. So the first time I ran, I thought, I need to get out there and do it. And I'm not breaking any news here to anybody. I don't think anybody really likes running. It's not a pleasant exercise, but in terms of exercise at heart rate and whatever, I would say it's probably the most efficient.
Yeah, I think swimming is.
You're right.
That's like the peak because that's working every muscle,
right. Legs, arms, yes, everything. You're right.
I mean, running. You're right. It's an excellent exercise.
So the first day went and ran as far as I could in terms of
go around the block or something.
Yeah. So I think I did just a little under a mile. Right. Mm-hmm. Stopped like halfway through. Couldn't make it a mile. Couldn't make it that far. Couldn't make it 0.8 miles. Mm-hmm. Right. So went back out there. I don't know if it was the next day or the following day. And thought, okay, I'm going to try to run half mile, like go straight half mile, stop, turn around.
Okay.
Come the other half. So 1 mile, whatever.
How did you feel the next day after?
Not as bad as I anticipated.
Okay. It's usually 2 days after that.
Yeah. So 2 days later, I decided I'm going to run a half mile straight and turn around to make it a 1 mile. and I got it 0.47, and I know because it was just tracking on my phone because I wanted to see how far I need to go to get to half. And I felt a ball in my calf like I've never experienced in my life.
Okay. All right.
And I don't know if it was a cramp or what.
Charlie horse or
But here's what I can say. It's still there almost 2 weeks later.
Oh, okay.
Not to the degree, to the point where the next day, like me walking, I was more, I don't know if the term dead foot is a thing.
Okay.
But to the point where just to not have pain when I would walk, I would have to not drag, but like flat foot to walk without pain with that calf.
All right, I'm going to be right back. You keep going, but I'll be right back with your solution.
Okay. Oh boy, now I'm excited. So I had decided, since the running disaster of June 2024 and the calf issue that has belabored me since then, that I need to move to I still need to keep exercising to some degree because this run is coming whether I like it or not. It's been bought, paid for, it's happening. And I cannot disappoint the 0 people who care now. So I had to pivot the exercise, which I did. Since then, I have been hitting the bicycle. I have been biking every night or every other night. Not much. 5 miles.
Okay.
Here and there.
You got to bike over here? We got to meet at the ice cream place again. Remember we used to do that all the time?
Yes. I've been doing just 5 miles, just through the neighborhood and down the main roads. Make sure to try to go up a hill and just to get the heart rate moving and to keep the exercise going. But since the calf disaster of June 2024, Steve, I have not been able to want to get out there to run anyway. But physically, I feel like my fear is that if I go out there before it feels 100% again, is I'm going to take 30 steps and I'm going to feel like a twinge again.
So you still feel the ball in your calf?
Not to the degree of,
okay,
but yes, like especially when I flex it, like right now, I could feel like a little ball in my calf. 2 days later, after we were at Home Depot getting something, and walking through the parking lot, like I don't know if you do the same thing. Like if you're walking across the parking lot, like the driving lane, right? So you're perpendicular to cars coming, and like a car is stopped to wait for you to cross. How do you react?
You kind of do a little spring in your step, like a little trot. You give the courtesy wave.
I did a little spring in my step and I nearly went down.
It's a bad sign.
But that was a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. In fairness, I'm feeling better, but I still know that on my right calf right now, that is still there. So all in all, since I signed up for this 5K, I have run a total 1.3 miles.
So you've run not even half the distance during training.
Closer to a third.
That the total distance of the actual run. Now, look, okay. I'm here to tell you that you don't have anything to worry about. I once ran a marathon. No, I once ran a half marathon on, I think, 4 miles of training. Like 2 times.
I can't tell you how much
3 months earlier
perturbs me just hearing that.
It's race day comes around, and you're going to be excited. The adrenaline's going to be pumping a bit. That's going to get you halfway through the race easily. Just the adrenaline and the excitement.
Okay. Maybe I just rely on that. Stop exercise, cold turkey.
I mean, you could do a 5K cold turkey. That is, you could.
I am not confident that I'm not saying I would die if I did a cold turkey, but I'm saying I would be one of those people that like all the grandparents are cheering for as I crawl to those last 25 feet,
right.
Ball in one calf.
Okay.
Like just drool hanging out of my mouth.
So what I have here, I just went into the other room. This is called the stick.
Oh, the rain stick.
This kind of, yeah. It's about 1.5 feet long. It's got little pieces of plastic that rotate. They're kind of like beads. You put this thing on the back of your calf.
Okay.
And you roll up, down, up, down, up, down. It's going to hurt like hell.
Okay. So you're saying like really, really push.
Honestly, to get the true effect of it, you need to lay down on the floor and have somebody else like going to town on that lump on the back of your leg.
Okay.
It's going to roll it out. It's going to hurt like hell.
Okay.
But you are going to feel such a release, and it's going to feel so much better.
We need to do it. We need to get a video of this.
Do you want me to do it? Like, we can set it up. We can do it right now.
We could. Let's try to do it.
How about after we're done recording, we'll go upstairs. I'll see if Annette can record it. I mean, we got new phones here. We got fancy video and everything.
That's right. Yeah, I'd like to get. Yeah, let's try that.
It's not going to feel good.
Maybe I jog out of here.
Maybe you just leave your car here, run home.
Maybe this fit. Yes, honestly, tell Katie, don't even worry about it. I'm going to run back and get it.
So you'll run home, eat some breakfast.
Yeah.
We're recording early today.
Yes.
And then, around lunchtime, you run back over here, pick it up. Maybe you get back here and you realize, I don't need this thing. You run home again.
So stay tuned. We'll try to get a video of that after this, and hopefully, well, we'll see, because I question my ability to not make a buffoon of myself and curse in front of your children if it's truly bad. Well,
so you got 3 weeks till this thing? I think that between the stick and the next piece of advice I'm going to give you, you're going to be perfectly fine.
Good. Okay.
You're going to be ready to go. Just quit. Don't do it. 5Ks are the worst. Absolute worst.
Why?
I always hated 5Ks
Just
because
the distance
it would always take me. It would take me, if I was doing a distance run, it would be 2 to 3 miles before I felt like I was acclimated and had my breathing right, had my pacing right.
So you're saying that became a struggle at that
The shorter distances were always more difficult for me.
So you're saying I need to just jump into a half?
5Ks are the worst. You should never sign up for them. Just, if no one signs up, people will stop holding them.
Question for you then, as we get out of here.
Yeah.
You want to do it with me?
Kind of.
I'll give you the details. It's a little podcast run? Little podcast jog? Pod jog?
Pod jog? I'll consider it.
If we get an edit on that? Huh?
She'll consider it.
Family affair? All 4 of us? Jogging through the apple trees?
All right, we'll talk afterwards. Look for that video.
That's right. Just quit.
At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you have any more running advice for Kyle.
Oh, God, please. It's 3.3. Actually, 3.2, I'll walk the last 0.1.
It's 3.1.
Is it
5K's 3.1. Look
Beautiful.
at that. It's getting shorter already.
Look at that. By next week, it'll be 1.5.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. See ya.